Take. I'm here with Mark Goldbridge. It's a painful morning, mate, isn't it? It's a painful morning. It's a painful one.
Yeah, I mean, look, I suppose we're prepared for the contrast of it. But yeah, it's fair play to Spurs, by the way. I've got no complaints there. Ange absolutely belittled our manager in front of the watching world. And United didn't turn up, and I think that's always it's the minimum you expect from a football fan. You expect your team to turn up for a final. I'm still baffled by that, and not scoring in a final as well. Terrible.
Yeah, I agree. Ange, it's probably a conversation for another day. I said it last night. He did this thing where he's done it in a lot of European games, to be fair. He was pragmatic. It was peak Jose Mourinho football, sat back, hard to break down. And the one thing that stood out for me is the difference in the power and athleticism. And you go back to the Van der Ven clearance off the line.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Maguire's getting up there? Do you think Lindelof's getting up there? Do you think, barring Lenny Yoro, I don't know if we have a player athletic enough to get their leg that high that quickly. And that was a massive thing for me last night. We'll get into Amorim, we'll get into Garnacho, but we need to buy some athletes because we just looked, honestly, half a yard too slow, nowhere near strong enough. And Amorim called this in an interview, I think, in the semi-final or the quarterfinal. We do better against the European sides because we're as strong and as fast as them. But in the Prem, we're awful. It's like little boys versus men. It was painful to watch. It really, really was. But look, we've got some stuff to react to. Hot takes. So we take views, opinions, videos that are out there from others. We're obviously touching on last night's situation with Manchester United. We're going to be looking at some transfers as well. Get the like button hit for us if you haven't done so already. Please get yourself subscribing as well. And thank you, Maurice, for becoming a brand new member of the Football Terrace this morning. It means a great deal. First clip I want to play, actually, is to do with Alejandro Garnacho. This is what he said after the game.
Sí, obviamente es duro para todos después de esta temporada que la verdad que fue una mierda, tanto ahora al perder la final y en la Liga que no ganamos a nadie, la verdad. Pero bueno, muy duro y bueno, vamos a intentar terminar la temporada y ver qué pasa después.
So essentially what he said, I don't think any of us I don't speak Spanish, but he said that I played every round to help the team reach the final, and today I only got 20 minutes. I don't know. I'm going to try and enjoy the summer and see what happens next. He says this season was shit, losing the final and not beating anyone in the league. A clear jab here at the manager, not getting the game time the minutes that he thinks he deserved. What was your view on Garnacho saying this straight after the game, Mark?
I mean, look, I'm doing this from a position. I've just come from the United stand, and I pretty much know he's gone from Man United. I think everybody probably realizes that now, but it was always 50-50 from January. The club tried to sell him. He spoke to Napoli. Amorim wanted him to stay. And what we saw last night at the end of the game was the disintegration of the Garnacho-Amorim relationship, which was the only thing that was keeping him here. I think Amorim said something about him after the game as well, which I don't think he should have said, which was unprofessional, something along the lines of he missed a chance in the semi-final, so he's not playing, which was just ridiculous in itself. In a night full of ridiculous takes, you could fill a month, I think, with the content and comments. But look, I know Garnacho's going, so I'm not defending him in the sense of that, but I completely agree with it. You know, I actually agree with what he said. We have been shit this season. And we have been appalling and we didn't deserve to win the final. And I also agree with him on the sense that he probably shouldn't say this, but if he knows he's going, why wouldn't you? He's played pretty much week in, week out, 2 games a week. Ahmad's been injured most of this year. Mount's been injured most of the season. He's played every week. He's had to put up with the criticism, the demands on his body, and he's put a shirt on every week. Gets to the final and sits there for 71 minutes watching 2 players. I mean, Mason Mount, I didn't even know he was playing at times. Ahmad started off quite well. I think he's got every right to be like pissed off. He hasn't got a right to demand that he starts because a manager's got a right to pick the team. But I'd be pissed off if I was Garnacho. I understand that. And obviously he's leaving anyway. So what's the problem with it? You got all these United. What annoys me this morning, Terry, is that this morning I'm very much of the opinion that there's not an opinion out there unless it's abusive that I'm not going to agree with. If you want to sell Rasmus, you want to sell Onana, you want to sell Bruno, you want to sack the manager, you want to sell Garnacho, that is your right. Because when United deliver up a season like that and a performance like that last night, nobody in the club, player, manager, owners can say, oh, that's not fair. That criticism is a bit harsh. It's absolutely justified. So that's all I would say. But I just don't like the fact that we're waking up and making the same mistakes where people are trying to. We always do it as a fan base. It'll be Rasmus's fault in a minute. It'll be Bruno's fault. It'll be Garnacho's fault for an honest interview. And people are going, oh, Garnacho, get rid of him. He's a show off, this, that, and the other. But what lies is he telling? All right, he's crossing the line of putting it out publicly, but he's going anyway. It's been a shit season.
Yeah, look, I see it in a few ways. First of all, I don't think we're 16th because of any one person. I don't think we lost last night because of any one individual. So I don't believe in scapegoating Amorim, scapegoating Garnacho, Rasmus. Someone might try and blame Pogba still somewhere. You'll find that. Like that's what people will do. I don't believe
Graham
in
Souness
that.
is.
Yeah, Graham Souness is it again. What was Pogba doing last night? For me, I didn't like what Garnacho did because I think it's been part of an embodiment of an issue we have with player power. And obviously player power is a little bit of a generic colloquial term for it. I think we have too many players in our team that think about themselves over the team. And I'm not even saying that he is wrong to feel disappointed. I watched the 99 documentary a few months ago, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that he wasn't only fuming to be on the bench. He said, I was absolutely seething when I saw Sheringham coming on before me. I want players to have this. I want players to want to play. But I've seen this too many times. And the thing is, this is why it's not about Garnacho specifically, but about the way we run the club.
Yeah.
I think too many players want to be the superstar, the main man, the poster boy. I want to play in my best position every week. I don't want to have to adjust. I don't like this new system the manager's bringing in. Or I don't like the fact that we've just signed someone who's going to challenge me for my position. I'm going to not work as hard, or I'm going to get my agent to put something out in the press. In the individual moment around what Garnacho said, I get it. But it's been a wider issue for the better part now of 7 years at Manchester United. And I don't like the way this dressing room behaves. Do I trust, after hearing Garnacho say that, clearly not liking what the manager's trying to make him do on the pitch, do I trust that he's given his all in every single game? Do I trust that his mind is completely focused every week? I don't know. And that isn't to defend Amorim personally, because we're going to get onto where we should stay or go in a minute. For me, Mark, one thing we have failed as a fan base to, I think, grasp in the last 12 years is that we must protect the position of manager and head coach, not necessarily the person within it. And I'll tell you as to why very quickly. For me, you may dislike Amorim's system and style and go, Garnacho's right, Rashford was mistreated, the fact that Mainoo's not playing is wrong, sack this man, get rid of him. You've got to ask why it hasn't worked for these players and then look at the examples under the previous managers. The players shouldn't be allowed to dictate who they run through brick walls for, who they work hard for. Because even if we got rid of Amorim today and we bring in a manager that bends the knee, says, Garnacho, you can play in this role. Mainoo, you're going to play here. I'll adapt my system to you. That will work in the short term, as we've seen before. Then what will happen is that manager will have to adapt. Why do we know this? Pep doesn't play the same football today as he did 7-8 years ago when he joined the Prem. Gundogan has been used in multiple positions. If City had a dressing room and a club where the players got to dictate to their manager when they work hard based on the position they get put in, they wouldn't have won those trophies. So for me, this is something that's beyond Amorim. This is where I'm looking at Ineos. This is where I'm looking at the Baradas of this world. That's something they have got to fix. We can't have it where players feel entitled to play where they want to play and only give their all in that position. We saw it with Rashford a couple of years ago, killing it. Then he was asked to slightly adapt. We've got to try and create for this number 9 we've got now. And you could see he didn't want to do it. His shoulders went down. He wasn't the same guy. So for me, I'm gutted to see Garnacho say this because I really hope we can make it work with him at the club. But I think it's an example of a much bigger, deep-rooted problem at the football club that needs to be fixed, because no manager can be successful at our club if the players are always throwing their toys out the pram when they don't get what they want. Wayne Rooney was used in every single position imaginable by Fergie. Imagine he didn't want to work because Fergie said, you're playing on the left today. We can't have that at this club for me, mate. It's something we've got to eradicate.
Yeah, just reading Brookie's comment. Shame on Goldbridge. He hammered every player last night apart from Rasmus. Clearly didn't watch my watch along or my match reaction, mate, because Rasmus got the same score as Bruno and every other shit player on the pitch. And I didn't hammer every player. I didn't hammer Dorgu and Yoro, who I thought were our best players as kids. I just think, I completely agree with what you're saying, Terry. But my context around Garnacho is that's a player that knows he's leaving.
Yes.
So he's just unloading, and it's never a good thing. But I do actually petulantly agree with him. I would be miffed as to why he picked Mason Mount over him. And then Mason Mount puts in an absolute shit display as well. And also, it's the biggest game of your career, isn't it? Like, that's the big, I get it. It's not right, but it's funny. Raphael, the ex right back for Man United, he was at the game last night and he was talking to Beth. And he actually, I don't know whether it's on an interview or not, so I might be, saying something that was private. But he apparently said, in relation to Garnacho, as an ex-player, I get it. You work hard all season. You've been playing every game. You're not, other people are injured. They're not available. You get to the final and then you're out the team for somebody who's not been there for 90% of the time. And then they play shit and you're waiting to come on and you don't get on till the last 20 minutes. It's, but that's the thing. I think normally you'd probably stay quiet about it, but because he knows he's probably going, he's like,
and I can appreciate that, and I think that's something. Amorim made a massive mistake last night. What equally though, I put Garnacho on the bench in the starting lineup I wanted. I still think he's a better player in the last 20 to 30 minutes of a game against tired legs, and he showed that yesterday. He was far more dangerous than Mount when he came on. I wouldn't have started Mount though. It would have been Bruno and Ahmad in the 10s for me, with Ugarte and Cass in the central areas, because I just had this gut. I had this gut feeling more the day went on that they were going to play their European style Tottenham, where they were going to sit back, which meant the midfield wasn't going to be over. We didn't even need. I would have liked Mainoo on the pitch, but you don't need the techie ballers. We just need people that can funnel the ball into the dangerous areas, because they were going to sit back behind the ball. And yeah, Ruben got that wrong massively last night. There's no doubt about that whatsoever.